So recently I started the series Skinning to Gold Cap, and I realised that while this series is being very well received, it does sort of limit us to farms that are going to provide us with high quantities of items that sell for low to moderate prices. And as great as that is, I don't recommend to anyone looking to make gold that you are in a very small market only, so we are going to look to diversify in today's farm and get something with just a bit more oomph, something that sells for just that little bit more, and that is going to be a mount. So this mount is the Reins of the Thundering Ruby Cloud Serpent. Now this mount is an indirect farm in that we farm an item that we need to collect 10 of. When we have 10, we can convert it into another item that allows us to use this new item on a mob, which then enables us to kill the mob and get the mount. Now, because of the little bit of intricacy involved that we'll explain in this video, this mount actually retains a reasonable sale price, whereas a lot of these things will often drop. Now, the mount was recently changed in that you used to have to get people in your group when you were fighting the mob and have them pay to join your group to then loot the mount from the mob. But now the mount is actually just sellable directly on the auction house, and you make your gold by going and killing the mob yourself, getting the mount and putting it up on the auction house, which is definitely my preference. I don't like having to group people in real time in order to get the money and provide the service. I do like to use the auction house, and I know many of you do too. And as a result, this is a nice change for us, and it's going to make this farm is more viable. Now, the item that we're actually farming directly is called Sky Shards, and what we need to do is we need to gather 10 of these and create them into a Sky Crystal that we can then use to acquire this mount. Now, the location we are going to be using for getting these Sky Shards is going to be Tushen Burial Ground in the Vale of Eternal Blossoms in Pandaria. Now, in order to get here, it's actually incredibly simple. Now that they have made the changes to how the portals work, all you have to do, if you are using any character that is of a high level, which most people are going to want to do for a farm like this, is use your Dalaran Hearthstone to get to New Dalaran. Then from there, you're going to mount up and go around the corner to the portal to Orgrimmar. This portal will land you in the new portal room in Orgrimmar, where you will take another portal that will be just to your left as you land to Honeydew Village. From Honeydew Village, you are simply one zone over from the location that you need to do the farming, and you just fly over there. Dead easy, dead simple, takes no more than a minute or two. Now, this farm is going to be farming these Ancient Mogu. Now, this is a hyperspawn farm, but it does cover quite a large area, so ideally you are going to want to do this farm as 5-man. Now, it can be done solo, or with anything up to the 5 people, but the more people you have, simply the more mobs you're going to be able to kill across a larger area, and it's going to make it infinitely more efficient. Now, due to the way that these mobs are spaced out, a lot of groups are going to be asking for druids. It isn't essential that you use druids for this farm, but it is certainly going to help, due to the fact that they have their ranged instant casts, and Moonfire can even hit mobs behind them, which in some of the standardized locations that people will be using for the farm is an essential quality. Now, if you can't get your hands on 5 druids, and let's say there's a group of 3 of you, and a mage wants to come along, then by all means take them. It's still an extra person, it's still extra mobs killed, it is going to still work to your advantage. And the more mobs you can kill, the more Sky Shards you will get, because these Sky Shards are simply a drop from anything in the zone. It's a case of it doesn't matter what you kill, just as much of it as possible. Now, when it comes to additional things that you're going to be getting from this farm, there really isn't a great deal. There is only really one item, but you will be getting quite a lot of them, and that is Spirit of Harmony. Spirit of Harmony in of itself can be quite a valuable item, and you're going to get an awful lot of it from this farm. Now, this farm can be done in many different ways, but the 2 main variables are the locations that you will have people camping, and also the time that you will be doing your intervals in between loots. Now, the first one is quite simple. There are a few different configurations that you can use for where people are going to be standing, but for the main part, it is as simple as you want people to be standing as far apart as possible while still being nearby to numerous spawn points. My favourite from the numerous configurations that I've tried is the configuration that you will see in this video. So if you do want to just watch the video and learn where the markers are, they will all be shown in the course of the video and you'll be able to emulate this. But a lot of people do want to put markers on the pathway that leads up from where the green marker is in this video, and that is perfectly viable. You can have markers down there, there are plenty of mobs, but it's just not the method that I prefer or found to be the most efficient. Now the second variable is the timer. So there is basically two timers you're going to see groups using for this farm. There is a 2-minute timer and a 10-minute timer. Now the 2-minute timer is by far and away the best if you are going to be doing this farm looking for more than just sky shards. The corpses that you are going to be looting will be despawning after 3 minutes. So if you use a 2-minute timer and then go and loot all of the mobs, there will be no despawned mobs. However, that is of course less efficient for number of mobs killed. Now the 10-minute timer is if you are looking specifically for sky shards. As we have stated, these mobs will start to despawn on a 10-minute timer. However, any mob that contains a purple will not despawn for 30 minutes, meaning a 10-minute timer provides you plenty of time to go and loot the mobs while also optimizing the number of kills. You will of course still get additional items from this because any mobs that were killed towards the latter end of that 10-minute window will still be there with loot for you to gather, but you're going to fill your bags up a lot less than you would if you were to do 2 minutes. Now, RNG is still a big factor. I actually did this farm for about half an hour in the video that you are watching and I gained 4 sky shards, and this was using the 2-minute method. I then performed the farm again the next day and that was using the 10-minute method, and I did that for almost an hour and acquired 0 sky shards. So of course RNG, as always, is going to be a big factor. Now, however, before you go swearing off the 10-minute timer as being useless because of what I found, I do want to make the point that when I used the 2-minute timer and got the 4 sky shards, many other people in my group didn't get any, and when we used the 10-minute timer, almost everybody in the group got at least 4 or 5 sky shards, and it was just me left on 0. So be as efficient as you want with regards to timers. RNG is still going to be the biggest factor in how well you do from this farm. The only thing you can really do to help yourself out is optimize how many mobs you are killing. So the last thing I want to mention is simply what you're going to do once you've got your 10 sky shards. So it's as simple as you want to right click the stack of 10 sky shards in your bag. You do want to do this before you gather any more because there is a limit of 10. So please do, the moment you get them, convert them into the sky crystal. Then the zone you are in is where you find the mob that you need to kill. So you simply want to go and find the dragon in the sky that is called Alani. He does patrol around the area, but he is a giant dragon, he's not too hard to spot. Once you found him, all you want to do is simply find the sky crystal in your bag, use it on him, kill the rare, and then loot the mount from his corpse. The mount is a 100% drop chance, so there is no RNG in that part. So all you want to do at that point is just loot it, and then either learn it, or of course, go and sell it on the auction house. Across the EU, the average price for this mount is roughly 130,000 gold, but as always, do check your server's prices before you go and do this farm. The amount of variance in this farm is huge. I play on a few different realms, and on the 2 primary realms that I try to make gold on, it goes from being 60,000 gold on the realm that you see me performing the farm on here, to my other realm's price of 500,000 gold. In addition, supply is obviously of course a factor in this as well, and it goes from being as much as almost 20 of them available on the server that I'm performing this farm on, to 0 available on some of my other realms. Of course, if you do manage to get a realm that has 0, you can reset the price and people will pay it. The largest amount that I have been able to see for anyone paying for this mount since the point where it's changed to be available in the manner that it is now is 500,000 gold. That is quite ambitious. I don't think many people are going to be getting it for 500,000 gold. I think the majority of people will be buying it for closer to the 100 to 150,000 mark, but of course, you do want to try and get as much out of the value of the mount after you have farmed it as you can. Now that's going to do it for today's video, guys. I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do consider liking the video. Also, if you liked the concept of the video, please do let me know down in the comments below, and I will continue with this big ticket series. If you do want to be kept up to date with the big ticket series, then please do consider subscribing to the channel, and as always, I hope to see you in the next one. Later.